And Nathaniel Reed, live for us in Philadelphia. Let's start there. Of course, that was a race, a big race that got called overnight while most folks were sleeping. Democrats celebrating the victory in both the governor and Senate races. And Nate, Fetterman's win over Mehmet Oz, a big victory for the Democrats as they try to hang on to the Senate. What do we know this morning?
Exactly right. And look, this race was one of the ones that we thought could face a significant delay, and something that Fetterman's campaign had even sent a note to reporters saying to expect a decent delay in the counting of the results in this race. Based on Pennsylvania state law, many of the requested 1.4 million early mail ballots that were requested and then some of which were returned are not allowed to be processed until 7 a.m. on election morning, meaning there was significant delay to not only process those envelopes to match signatures, tally the ballots, put them in the ballot counting machines, etc. So there was a good chance that it could have taken a lot longer to know the final result in this race. You might remember back in 2020, it took 4 days before President Biden was named the winner of Pennsylvania. That was just by 1 point, though, back in 2020. John Fetterman making clear last night that he's excited for what lies ahead here as the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania. Let's listen.
We held the line. I never expected that we were going to turn these red counties blue, but we did what we needed to do, and we had that conversation across every one of those counties. And tonight, that's why I'll be the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania.
And I have to say, part of his campaign strategy involved all of those different counties in Pennsylvania. He made it a point to go into some of the redder counties in the state, counties that Democrats almost never win in elections or haven't won in a very, very long time, and make sure to hold rallies there, oftentimes rallies that drew a fairly significant number of people. Throughout this campaign, Fetterman was the one who was constantly going out holding rallies. That's not to say that Mehmet Oz didn't hold rallies, but Fetterman's were always larger and there were always more of them. Now, you might remember John Fetterman suffered a stroke just a couple of days before the Senate primary back in May. He spent much of the summer sidelined from the campaign trail, and back this fall, he got back on the campaign trail to this last and decisive victory.
There was so much discussion after that debate where Fetterman's troubles were on display. You could see he was still struggling to recover and somehow obviously still pulled out the win here. So that debate was not as damaging to him politically as some had thought at the time. Really fascinating.
Presumably people's minds had already been made up anyway before that debate. All right, congressional correspondent Nate Reed reporting for us in Philadelphia. Thanks, Nate.